Hi, Nicholas here. Welcome to the Akousunesis method. Today we're going to look at Sailing by Rod Stewart. So with this song, just like all the others, we'll press the link here. It takes us to Chordify and we'll just listen to the song. Right? We'll get it in our head. It's not going to be in the same key as you're listening to, but that doesn't matter because we're listening for relative pitch of the melody and we're going to work out the song. We're going to put the song in the key of F sharp. So F sharps, and as we did with the other previous two, it's easy because it's just the black notes. Right? You're improvising, stick to the black notes. The only two white notes it has, right, is on group 2. It's the outer white notes of group 2. Right? So it's the F and the B. That's F sharp, which is the same as G flat. Right? It's the same key as G flat. All right. So let's have a look. Now what I want to do today is we're going to, so once you've heard the song, right, we're going to see what makes the song interesting. Now we're going to start with the song skeleton and we're just going to look at the chords, okay? So let's go to verse 1. So we have sailing, F sharp, so it's on a 1, right? So that's what you're hearing first. And it's, so from the lead into that, from the introduction, we end up on C sharp. And then leading in, it's a 1, 2 on the C sharp. And then it's a 1, right? So we're going to listen to the 1. And then it goes up to D sharp minor. Then comes up there. Then it hits that second on the 2, which gives it that beautiful, sad sort of sound. But it resolves straight down to the 1. And then ends on the 3 there. So that's a skeleton of what this song is going to be doing, right? So it's a 1, high 1 up there, 1, then 2, then 3, then 2, that 2 again. Is using that a fair bit. Then the 3, then the 2 on the minor, then the 1. All right? Now, the only place it comes out of key is where we got the G sharp here, which is a 2 major. So if normally, right, we're in the key of F sharp, there's a G sharp is a minor because it's the B and the F. So we make that second chord 2, that Roman numeral 2, the second chord, instead of being a minor, we're turning it into a major. And then comes back into key. So it only comes out of key in that spot and then comes straight back into key again. And here with G sharp minor is in key. So it's the major comes out of key. Keeps the 7 there. It's a minor 7th, right? Because G sharp minor in key has the minor 7 2 up there. Right? There's no real chorus in this. It's just the same melody all the way through. So again, it's pretty straightforward and easy once you know the chords. So you got F sharp 1. There's F sharp, right? So you'll practice with a skeleton first, right? And you get your hair and you'll say 1 and you'll get used to how a 1 sounds. It's a lead, high 1, right? Then there's a high 1 again on the D sharp minor. And then there's a 2. And you hear that beautiful 2 sound. And then it resolves down to the 1. And then the major thirds. And then again a second. So you can see how he's coming back to that second. He's got the second here on the 3rd chord. Then he sort of got a 3. Then comes back to a second. You hear that second again. Makes the whole thing very sad. And then again on the 2nd. And that's going major. That's about the saddest thing you're ever going to get, a minor chord with a 2nd. It's so beautiful to be free. 3, 5. We're going to look at all the other intervals now. So that's the skeleton. You can practice that. All right, so let's look at the chords and all the intervals now. Verse 1. So we ended up on a C sharp on the introduction here, right? and then it becomes on the C sharp, it's a 1, 2, and then it goes to the I am sailing. I am. So it's a 3, 5 there. 3, 5. I am sailing one Homer to the minor 7. 1 coming down to the minor 7. Homer. And that minor 7 is an anchor point, another anchor note for 2 chords. And the B. So it becomes a second on the B. C sharp, G sharp, and you can put in the 7th there. Or you can. I don't like the 7th in that, so I won't put it in. To be another 2 near you, to be free. Okay, so free. We're on C sharp, it comes down to C sharp. 1, 2 on the C sharp. Right, so we end on the C sharp here, and it becomes 1, 2 on the C sharp. 1. I am flying like a bird across the sky. I am. All right, so it's 4, 3. I am flying. That's the major there. Passing high ground to be near you. So it's 2, 1. Or it could go near you to be free. I just put in these extra notes there, but you don't need to have them there. Near you to be free. Can you hear me? Can you hear me through the dark night? 2, 1. Far away. I am dying, forever crying to be near you. Who can say? And then it's all the same. They're just the same. There's no chorus in this. So it's pretty straightforward, right? So the standout of this is the 2 on the again. So that should be lined up. That 2 should be lined up with the G, but I don't like putting dashes in. Makes it look messy, and I don't want to stick that close to the 7. But I am. So the 1, 2, down to the 1 resolves to the 1, 3, 4, 3, 2, major, minor 3rd, again a 2nd to the 1, and then to the 1, and then goes on the C sharp. And of course, once you practice that, I mean, you can just start to improvise now. You can muck around with the melody too once you learn it. But you want to keep, as long as you stick to that skeleton, the skeleton's good for that. Just improvising and mucking around, because you can just see where the song needs to be, right? you'll find once you practice with the skeleton and just hit those lead notes at the chord change, you'll find after time those fingers will start to magically move to the melody, right? It'll find the melody. Right? So the process of this method is you're creating memory associations, right? And you learn your chords. You've got to know your chords, right? But you're making the memory association. You want to hear for the melody. You're listening for the melody, so your right hand can just flow over, making the melody with those chords. We're not just strumming chords, right, on a guitar and singing, right? That's most guitarists will do that, just strum chords and sing. We're learning to play the song and the melody with our hands, and we're learning to sing with it too. So by learning the melody with your hands and singing, you're killing so many birds with one stone. You're training your ears to be in pitch for the song, right? And sometimes you got muscle memory too in your vocals, and they'll develop to learn in the key. So once you pick the right key for your song, stick to that and play it in that key, and your voice and your muscles in your throat will work for that song. And so if you can't quite hit a note a bit higher, you can always add some lower harmonics to get to that note, right? Eventually, by practicing like this, you'll hit the note. Like your ear will just have no choice. Your vocals will hit that note. I am sailing. I am sailing. Where are we? I am sailing. I am sailing home again across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. So if you're not comfortable singing really high notes, so just add a bit more lower harmonics in your vocals. You could be playing it up here, but your vocals could be singing it a bit lower. Anyway, have fun with that one. That's not a hard one. Only comes out of key in one spot, right, at a 2M. And I highlight them up here. I note them whenever the song comes out of key. You've got a link there to listen to it. You've got the song skeleton to muck around with, and then you've got all the intervals there. And then eventually you get to the point where you don't need intervals, and you just got the song words and lyrics. You might not remember how to play the song, like remember all the chords, but when you look at here with the chords and the lyrics, you find the melody. Once you start off the melody, your fingers will find them, and then you'll make all those associations going, I remember, yeah, it was a 1 there. If you haven't played it for a while, oh yeah, it was a 2-1. It goes to the minor 3, to the major 3. And then it was a 2-1 again. And there's 2. Minor 3rd. And then a minor 2nd. And then the 1 again. So your fingers are faster. Your fingers will find the notes before your brain sometimes will kick in to know what you're doing, like what your intervals are you pressing. And that's why you'll get better at recognizing intervals the more you do it with this method. And it becomes a backup, and it's very easy to remember the song again. If you haven't played it for a long time, you might just remember a couple of things. I just remember it goes to 1 to 1, 1 and 1. So if F sharp 1, 1, oh yeah, then the rest will just flow once you, oh yeah, it was a 2, that's right. Oh yeah. Yeah, and you learn songs much quicker once you create all those memory associations, and it becomes easier and easier, and you get better at it and better at it. A good way to learn your chords is you can just improvise with Chordify. So you can just play it and just don't worry about the melody. Just practice the chords. Well, this is in a different key, right? But you can practice the chords. And then when you come back to learn the song, you already know the chords and the key. So, all right, that's sailing. The next one I'm going to do, I'm going to do another Rod Stewart one, and I've got it all pretty much prepped now. I don't want to talk about it, so that'll be the next one we do. All right. Okay, let's catch you in the next one. Bye.